Hey team, wanting to do a quick vegan vegetarian update on the channel. I am doing 14 vegan days every month, and this month I am pleased to report that I did have a little bit of wiggle room at the end of the month. I only had 6 days in a row that were absolutely needed to be vegan. The first time I was like, well, almost all the vegan days were at the end. Enforced, required at the end, which made it harder. But this time there was some wiggle room. And that has been kind of the case throughout. And I think it's just because of how I plan or how I spend my budget. Vegan days tend to be I'm on a tight budget. We're doing potatoes and popcorn, and that is kind of it. So, woohoo for those. We had 6 this past week. I was actually experimenting with different dressings and flavors to add to the popcorn and to the potatoes, so it was kind of fun. I did have a special Earth Day meal, Earth Month meal inspired by veggies. So we did splurge that week. I shared with my mother, and so it was a good time. It was fun. So this coming month, I do have a penchant for looking forward to the vegetarian days. I know this past time I inadvertently used a vegetarian day right at the very end because I used horseradish sauce on my popcorn, and I forgot that it had mayo in it, and I was like, oh no, one of my vegetarian days lost on horseradish sauce. I do not much care for horseradish sauce, and so it was. It's spicy. It has a kick to it, and it's like kapow right there on your tongue, and it burns the back of your nose. So I was disappointed that day, but it's okay because the next day I was doing a favor for my mom, and I ended up seeing my dad, and we went to a restaurant. So that was nice. I got some very nice food at the restaurant, and it was a vegetarian day that day as well. But I was just like, that wasn't a vegan day because of horseradish sauce. I am really sad. So good adventures in it. Like I said, I like being vegan. I think it's perfectly sustainable, especially when you have the monies that you can get the vegan milks and then like the vegan coffee creamers, and you know, you work it out. Restaurants are tougher, and so I was very pleased to be able to be vegetarian at the restaurants. But actually, a lot of people who might be vegan say socially, I'm gonna be vegetarian, or when I go out to restaurants, I'll be vegetarian, but otherwise I'm vegan. And I have not tried that lifestyle. I don't know if I'm going to, but we are still not even halfway through this year, and so we'll see what next year the experiment might be. It could be interesting. I don't know. I don't go out to restaurants that much, so I don't know if it would be like, yay, once every 2 months. But like I said, I was vegan for 5 years, and it was not like I got used to it, and I was in the swing of it, and I knew what I liked, what I wanted, and so it was fine. It was great, and then I decided to go back to vegetarian, and now it's just like, I want cheese, I want cheese, I want cheese, or easy coffee. Yay. I mean, you can get coffee that's vegan as well, but you have to be particular about the creamer, because some of them are really not very full-bodied, and so if you want good coffee, then I like vegetarian coffee better. So most of the time, it's just easier because you have much more options for that full-bodied flavor in the creamers and the add-ins as well. So, but otherwise, it's been fine so far. Um, yeah, having that wiggle room to be vegetarian has been nice, and this month was not bad with it. So 6 days at the end, and then I had it like the 2 day wiggle room. So and then I had 2 days that I also had to be vegan. I needed to have those 8 days near the end, but I was still pleased to have like the 6 earlier, so almost half. So all right, with that, I am going to stop the video and I'll talk to you later. If you have any questions or if you want to talk vegetarian vegan, do message. I will talk with you about it. I'm not I try not to be stuck up about it. It's not my agenda. I'm not a big agenda pusher. And so it's a lifestyle, but it's not something that I want to lecture you on. I definitely could. But I'm pretty casual about it. So, do leave a message if you want to swap recipes. I had this really great Italian vegan food and it was so good. But otherwise, I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.